Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with a brand new show here on the Cabral Concept. Happy New Year. If you're just tuning back into the show, glad to have you here. And of course, it is New Year's season. We want to talk about New Year's resolutions, but the truth is that you can set a resolution any time of the year. So if you're listening to this in August, that's just as good a time in order to get started. But over the past couple months, I've been talking about the 12-week year. I've been talking about how to schedule that calendar in order to get done what you need to do in order to be the person that you want to become, right? Because after all, it is our actions that defines our life, but also what does it do? It reinforces our beliefs. So if we continue to take negative actions and those negative actions lead to negative outcomes, well, what does it lead to? More negative thoughts. Because if you have a negative outcome, you're most likely going to be followed by a negative thought. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to take actions, just small ones, to start on a daily basis in order to get what? More positive outcomes. So small positive actions can lead to what? More positive outcomes, which then leads to what? More positive thoughts. So it is cyclical, right? It does work in an overall structured pattern that when we find ourselves in a more negative spot, we need to turn things around. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you as you're setting these resolutions, because I'm telling you right now, whatever you set for yourself, you can achieve. You don't always know the timeline, right? You don't always know the timeline, but you should know that you will and can achieve it if you begin to do the things in order to become the person who's worthy, right, of achieving that goal. And we're all worthy. We just have to feel that way, right? But the more action we take towards a goal, we say, well, yeah, I deserve it. I should achieve it. Why? Because I'm doing the work. I'm putting in the work. I'm working hard. I'm working at it. It has to eventually come to me. And that's the right mindset to have. You may not have the exact plan yet, but it will come. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm saying right now is this. As you set those New Year's resolutions, or you set those resolutions any time of the year, and you should revisit every 12 weeks, what I want you to think about is this. The goals that you have for yourself, right? In whatever way that you are acting, they should do two things. One, they should not hurt other people. Because a goal that allows you to move ahead but hurts another human being is not a goal that you want to set. That is, when it comes to karma, whether you believe it or not, you can believe it in terms of reincarnation if you want, or you can simply believe it, as I do, in terms of vibration. I mean, if you don't believe in vibration, you can just look up online in terms of vibration, frequencies matter. We know it's studied that everything is vibrating at a certain frequency, right? Creates different matter, right? So the vibrational, as human beings, we're 99.9% plus non-matter, but is the vibrating matter that we perceive as structured three-dimensional material, right? So like that is how our physical world works. The interesting thing is that I believe that if you put negative out there and you're having negative thoughts, it will come back to you as a negative outcome. And I don't believe, if you are, and you know that you are purposely hurting another person in order to help yourself, maybe not tomorrow. Yeah, you might get what you want in the short term. It's like a lot of these fad diets out there, right? But in the long term, what? Well, the fad diet, you destroy your metabolism. In the long term, you get ahead by hurting other people, you destroy your life. You don't want that, right? You don't want to live in your own prison of negativity. That is not a life that anybody wants to live. So that's first and foremost, right? Even if you don't believe in, do unto others as you would have done unto you, because a lot of people aren't in a good space. Just do this, be kind. I love that saying, just be kind. It's something that we try to teach our daughters all the time. It's just be a kind person. Is that kind? Is what you're saying right now to your sister kind, right? Like that's what we're trying to just ask, right? Use that filter. Is what I'm doing kind? All right, so that's the first. And if it's yes, great. Like, are you trying to help people? You're not gonna be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Like, that's the thing. You're going to mess up. But you didn't purposely try to hurt anybody. Like, that's the thing, okay? So that it happens. But the second part is this, and it's equally as important. Don't set goals that are going to hurt you. Because a lot of people do, right? They have a goal of helping another individual. They have a goal of doing X, Y, and Z. But in the process, it harms their own life, right? They're like, well, I have to take care of this person. I have to do that. I don't disagree. You want to care for your fellow human being, especially family. They may need you. They may not have anybody else. But if you are harming yourself in the process, physically, mentally, emotionally, by helping an individual, friend, family member, go through whatever it might be, or a goal, or work, or you're putting in 16-hour, 18-hour days, whatever it might be, what is that doing to you? Is that worth it? Now, temporarily, you may have to, right? Like, it might be for good reason. Think about this. Okay, so your newborn baby, first child, comes into the world. You don't know what to expect. All of a sudden, that child is up 3, 4, 5, 6 times a night. You're getting very little sleep. You're no longer exercising. You're not paying attention to your hygiene. You're not paying attention to proper eating, right? Because this child, it needs all of your time, all of your care, all of your attention, all of your love. And there's really no other way around it, right? That is the way that it has to be for a period of time. Now, again, you're going to do your best to get them on a sleep schedule. You're going to do your best to get better nutrition in. You're going to set certain alarms on your phone, like, oh yeah, it's time to eat lunch. Oh yeah, it's time to do this. I'm going to try to nap, when the baby's napping in the afternoon, like whatever these things may be. You're going to try to do that as well. But at the same time, you have to understand that is finite, right? That is finite. Helping a friend overcome an addiction that you may say, listen, I'm going to be here for you for the next week, and I'm going to let go of work. I'm going to let go of whatever else, just help you. I get it. I understand. But there are a lot of people right now that are dedicated to a work-based goal, a health-based goal, a relationship-based goal, a spiritual-based goal. That is not actually what's best for them in the long run. So if you think about it like, hey, is this actually conducive to doing this long-term or being healthy? Because we don't always think about it like that. Oh, no. Like, hey, I just won't eat for a week. Or, hey, I'm just not going to eat like anything except high-fat foods. Like, is this good for me for the long run? And so what I want to make sure is that we are not setting goals just for the short term, or just like we wouldn't hurt another individual, that we don't hurt ourselves. Because oftentimes I think that we're a little bit more altruistic, and we might even be a little bit more kind to other people, which we would never think twice about. Yet we don't share that same kindness or foresight for the future with our present day self. And I just ask you that as you're setting goals, there are seasons, there are temporary period of times that you may be doing something that you know is going to lead to a great long-term outcome that you might only do for a few weeks at a time, or 12 weeks, or whatever it might be, like the newborn baby, or the initial diet plan, or the, going away on a spiritual retreat, right? Like going away on a spiritual retreat, meditating maybe 16 hours a day, only eating one meal, doing this, that, like maybe that, I don't know. For me, again, this is just personally, I would probably say that's not the best and highest good for you to the world, but maybe it is. Again, who am I to say? But I also don't think that that's probably the healthiest way. But again, I leave that up to other people. And that's why I ask the question of you to ask yourself that question. Am I taking good care of myself in this present day? Is this a good long-term plan, or is it hurting? And if it is hurting me, is this finite? Can I find a way out of it? And when will that be? And then also, do you even need to reach your goal in that same manner? Because there are different ways to reach different outcomes. And you might just have one way right now kind of locked into your thinking. And you might want to explore, hey, is there another way to lose weight? Is there another way to get healthier? Is there another way to get, my baby on a sleep schedule? Is, whatever it might be. Is there another way to reach spiritual enlightenment without pain, suffering, whatever it might be? And so those are different things to explore. I've done a lot of this exploring myself really over the past 25 years. And it's done me, at least, a lot of good, meaning that I just feel more centered. I feel like I'm able to be a little bit more calm in times of high stress. And I also feel that since I've been able to glean some of the wisdom from all the spiritual masters and health-based practitioners out there that came before me, that I'm able to actually pass that on now to my children and family and everybody I can on the Cabral concept. So what I'd like to share with you is this, is that oftentimes we think about we need to be totally selfless, that we need to put everybody else first. And I can share with you that I've just never found that to be true. I really haven't. Now, maybe some people have, but again, I'm sharing my viewpoint. I've never found it to be helpful, is that if I am not putting myself first in terms of care, I found that I have very little to offer others. So let's say that I quit my job. Okay, so if I quit my job, I would no longer be able to reach 50 to 100,000 people a day with the Cabral Concept podcast. I would no longer be able to run 100,000 at-home labs a year with individuals. I would no longer be able to teach over 5,000 integrative health practitioners around the world who then affect the lives of millions of other people. I wouldn't do any of those things. I also wouldn't have any income, so I wouldn't be able to give to charity. I wouldn't be able to do things like free lab giveaways and this and that, which I consider that a way to be able to bring health to other people. One of our charities with Equal Life is B1, G1. We just wouldn't be able to do any of those things. We used Vitamin Angels in the past, Art for Life, like all sorts of different charities. Okay, but I'd be able to give my time, right? So I could do that. That's true. No doubt about it. Okay, but let's say I gave up, everything else. Let's say I gave up my exercise routine and I didn't do that. I gave up my nutrition as well. And I just ate the most simple and cheapest food possible. And I just kind of gave that away then to other people. Okay, so then my health would deteriorate. I'd have less energy, and I wouldn't have the energy then to even give my time then to other people outside of work, just like charity-based drives. So, and then if I didn't have energy and I didn't feel well, my relationships would then flounder as well. And so what I'm sharing with you is that I've actually found the opposite. The more successful I can be with my health and my energy and my companies and anything else, the more I have to give. Like I've never come across an instance where that hasn't been true. But if you have, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear that because I'm open to it. And so by building myself up in terms of health and strength and endurance and just even education and reading and all of these different things and businesses, I'm able to then give back more to other people. And that to me is never going to change unless I find a better way. If I am able to do more, I'm able to give more. I just go back to the analogy. An empty cup, it's difficult to pour out into anybody else's, right? If the majority of people that I see and work with in life have less than half in their cup, right? They have an empty cup. And my cup is full. I can go around on a daily basis and pour out basically everything I have and then rejuvenate that next overnight, throw my nutrition, my exercise, all these things, and then do it again the next day. And that is why I do a daily podcast. I have a lot to share. I've learned a lot. I want to be one way that I can give back for free. That everything that I wish I knew, I can just give that on a daily basis for free. And you can search any podcast. I mean, it's over 2,500 episodes at stephencabral.com/podcast. There's a search bar. Search for any health topic, any weight gain, wellness, weight loss based topic, longevity topic. It's pretty much there. And so I'm literally only one person and I'm doing it my way. There's no one perfect way to do it, but I can tell you this, get your body healthy. Get your weight to an ideal level. Get your energy levels up. Improve your sleep. Improve your nutrition. Follow that de-stress protocol that I read about the rain barrel effect. Improve the big 5 areas of your life, right? Your health, your body, your relationships, your finances or your career, your spirituality. And if you do that, you just have so much more to give. Now, you have to be the person that wants to give, but if you follow along the teachings that I've learned and that I speak about, that you're just very grateful. And grateful people that have perspective that didn't come from all of that, they want to give. And not because they feel they have to, but it's like there's so much suffering. You see so many people suffering in this world that you're saying like, I've been there too. I recognize where you're at. I see you. And I want to share in any way that I can. Not as a perfect individual, but as an imperfect individual that's learned a little and simply wants to give back. because they're very grateful that somehow, some way, they were able to make it out. And that's really the goal. So again, my goals for you are much health and happiness this year. Set those goals, aspire to be something greater than you are now. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with who you are right now. You're great just the way that you are. But I think most of us haven't reached our true potential. So keep going after that true potential. Once you get there, make sure you give back. Make sure, again, as we always say, heal yourself, go on, heal others, teach others. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for tuning into the Cabral Concept. I appreciate you. I thank you. Have an amazing day. And as I always say, if this podcast was helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.